Hello, welcome. We're going to go a quick wee video here just about Facebook Live. Obviously, it's in quite a lot of people's minds whether they want to run a service on a Sunday. Obviously, with coronavirus and things like that, there's a lot of advice there that you're not wanting to have large gatherings just to help prevent the spread of the virus. So, what we're going to look at today is how we can use Facebook so that you can still have your service and you can broadcast it live out onto the internet. And it means that people can still engage with you as a church, hear the message, enjoy the worship and all that kind of stuff without the sort of thought in their mind of whether they want to physically be there in person or not. So we're going to look at two methods. First one, as you can see, we're looking at is Facebook on a laptop, on a computer. Basically, very simple setup. I've just got my laptop here. I've got a webcam plugged into it, and that's all we need to get going. So when you go to your Facebook page, obviously you want to do this from your church page probably. You can do it into, if you've got a group instead of a Facebook page, you can do it from there as well, but the setup is basically the same. So when you go to your page, you will see that you have all these buttons here. So you've got your create post, but above it, you'll have all these extra ones. The go live one is the one you're looking for. So you click on it, it'll do a wee bit. You may get a pop-up up here asking for permission to look at your camera. Hello, there we go. So if you're wanting to do it, if you do get that pop-up up on that top corner, not sure which corner it'll be for you, you want to click allow. All that's doing is giving the browser permission to access the camera so you can see the picture. Here we are. You've got all these options. For me, it's here. Hopefully it's the same for you. It may be on that side, depending on which way the video records all this. I'm kind of looking at my other screen. It is on this side. There we go. So you've got all your basic options on that side. So as you can see, to start with, you've got a few options where you want to put it. If you've got in a group, you can put it in there. Obviously, because we came through from our Facebook page, it's already selected, and it will also select there the default one for it if you've done it from your page. If you're just doing it from somewhere else, you've still got all these options to be able to pick where you want to do. So you can put it into a group if you want it private and it's an invite only group, or if you run your church like that. There is a few churches that just have groups because they don't want to have that public page out there. So that's fine, you can do that as well. There are some other options further down to tie groups and pages together as well. You can do this with events and stuff like that. Hopefully we're doing a quick and dirty kind of look at this just to get you going. If you want more information, do message me, message the page, leave a comment wherever you see this video, and I'll respond and we can talk about it in more detail as well. So obviously I'm going to leave it set on to our page because I don't want to put it anywhere else because this video won't make sense. So moving down, you have your description box. Basically, what are you doing? What is it? If it's a Sunday service, I would be saying put Sunday service at church name and then the date. You're not going to need a lot of information there. If you've got a sermon topic or certain things like that, you can feel free to add that in. You can pretty much write as much as you want in there. It'll just give you that blurb at the top when it appears to people on Facebook, telling them what it is, what they're going to be watching. It'll also, if you decide later on to save the video, it'll put that as the description above the video as well. Depending on your setup, as you can see, I have a few different options because I'm running a laptop with a separate webcam. I have a couple of different options. I've got some other capture software for doing video work. If you've just got a basic laptop and you're only using the camera on it, you'll only get the one option. You may not get all these boxes. You won't get the drop-down list. Like me, if you're using a separate webcam, which is what I would suggest because it means you don't need to turn the laptop round and have the screen pointing at the stage. So it means you can still use the laptop. I mean, any webcam will do. The one I've got is quite a cheap one off of Amazon. It's a Logitech C920. It's probably it's recording the video that you're watching right now. There may be a delay depending on because I'm running it through Facebook and I'm recording elsewhere. It's at least 10 years old. It's still HD quality. It'll do the job quite well for you. Don't spend a lot of money on it. If you've got one line about the house in someone's house that'll plug in to the laptop, use that. You don't need to be putting a lot of effort into this at the start, and it'll give you a good gauge of whether it's even worthwhile doing it in the future for you. I would say, if you've got the means to do it, live stream. It'll work amazing. Just realised the camera's up there and I'm staring at the screen, not you guys. See, takes a bit of learning. Set that to the camera you want. You'll get this lovely screen in front of you. Will show you what you're seeing, so it means you can adjust where the camera's pointing and how it's all setting. Depending on the camera software as well. If you've got someone that's got a bit more knowledge in that, you'll be able to zoom in and things like that, depending on the camera. Next setting you'll have this. As you can see, I've got a lot of different things running on my computer. So what I would be looking for would be the microphone that matches the camera. There are other ways to do it. Obviously, I'm actually recording my audio through these. Depending on the laptop, depending on your setup, depending on if you've got a soundboard, things like that, you can pull the sound directly through into the laptop and record that way. It will just come up as another option. If you were doing that, you would look for the default one for me, which would be just microphone. That's the plug-in earphone jack on the laptop. That would be the one you'd be using if you're pulling an external source. You were using a microphone, sound desk, something like that. Using that, it will ping, it'll update it, change some stuff, but you will see, you get a wee audio bar telling you you've got sound coming through, which is a new feature that they've added, which is incredibly handy. It lets you know that there is sound going to be on your video. The amount of videos I've recorded where there has been no sound and it's just my face going da, 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 and you don't know what I'm doing and I have to re-record it. Don't want that for live. You want people to hear it. So it's great that you've got that on. Probably won't match because I'm recording it, but never mind. Next bit is your title. As you said there, you probably want to put a bit more detailed description there, but again, basic title, it won't matter. People will understand what it is because it's coming from your church page on a Sunday. They're going to know it's going to be your service. So you can put title in there. It is optional, but that's the one that will probably ping up above the description when they get a notification or something like that going live. Again, it's up to you what you want to put in there. I would say Sunday service at church name and the date. At least then, if it appears later in the week, they'll know it's from that weekend or whatever. Sharing to groups, that's another powerful feature that you can have. So if you're doing it onto a page and you want to have, say you've got a life group, for want of a better way of putting it, you can put it in there. So if we type in, it will drop down. If it's going to play for me today, it's probably not. It's probably because this page isn't part of any groups. But if you've got it in groups, or if you're in any groups, when you start typing in there, it will give you a list of all the ones. You can just click on the ones you want to share the video into as well. And then it's quite a simple matter of just clicking go live, which I'm not going to do because it'll mess with all the recordings. Click go live and it'll do a pre-stream check, and then it will just broadcast live. So you don't want to do it too early. Or maybe get this page all set up so you're ready maybe 5-10 minutes before the service. Ping that, and that'll send out notification to all your followers on your Facebook page, telling them that we're about to go live. Come and watch us. I would say if you're going to do it, I'm hoping to get this video out today, which is Friday. So if you're going to do it, let people know that you're doing it. Give them that option. Be quite open about the fact that you're doing it, why you're doing it, and say, well, look, we are doing this anyway. If you want to come along, feel free. We will be recording live. You need to make sure that that's being said as well, just in case people are moving about and get caught on the camera, make them aware. Even at the start of the service, the people that are there, we are recording this. This is where it's getting shot. This is what will be in the video. If you're not wanting to be in the video, avoid this area kind of thing. If you can, confine it to the stage area. Depending on your layout. Churches are all different. Some have the doors beside the stage, some are behind, whatever. Make sure people are aware of, their movements. If it's going to be on video, you may want to decide whether you're wanting to have it tight in on the stage so that it's only the stage and anybody moving about won't get caught, or if you're wanting wider view. That's kind of up to how you want to handle that. There's a few other options you can put in interactive content. They've got polls and things like that. Again, if you want more information about that, drop it in the comments. Reach out to, obviously, Principal Digital page. I'm doing that as an example. I'm not trying to showcase the page or anything like that. It's a page that I manage that I can play about with, and I know that if I put it up, I can delete it straight away. So it's not a plug for that. It's more of a, here's how you can do this stuff. So that's the basic setup for doing it on a computer. We are now going to look. I have got my phone here. So I'm going to do a bit of screen capture on that, show you the setup on that. Basic setup, I use when I'm using my computer is I have got a fairly cheap tripod. Any tripod will do, really. And I went on Amazon, and you can get, I think this was a few pounds, to be honest. It's just a little holder that rotates around. Put your phone in. I'll show you. Put your phone in there, and you screw it up. Holds the phone quite nicely. I tend to use that quite a lot. Doesn't need to be fancy to do this stuff. As I said, you don't even need it. It's purely, I do video work fair amount out at events and things, so you tend to pick up that kind of equipment. You know, I've been doing photography for a long time. I had a tripod lying about. Bit screw on the top was nice and cheap. As I say, if all you need is that point at the stage, if there's a way to do it with books or anything, it'll still work. You just need to make sure that it's secure, steady, it isn't going to fall over and break your phone or anything like that. But anyway, I'm going to jump into doing this, so we'll cut to that. You won't be able to see me anymore, but I'm probably guessing that'll be nice for you. So we'll jump over onto this, and I'll see you in a minute. So we're on the phone now. I am on an Android phone. It's running the latest version of the Facebook app and the Android software. So what you're going to do is the look and feel of the Facebook app will look different depending on your phone, iPhone, Android, all that kind of stuff. So what we're doing is you're going to look for your menu, which is up at the top there, and go to where your pages are. If we find Principal Digital, which will give you the same look and feel as the one that we had up before. Again, layout of buttons will be slightly different depending on the phone, but you will have the same sort of thing across the top there. You have the create post, the photo camera. The one we're looking for is the live one at the end there, and here we are, back to the same staring at me screen. So we can close the bit at the bottom down. That's your filters, it gives you the face mask and things. We're not going to worry about that. The button up at the top here near my front facing camera is where you can change. If I push the button, you can change. So there we go. That'll be probably the one you would want to use so you can still see the screen. So that'll give you the option to swap between the camera on the front and the back of the phone. And there's not a lot of changes. You don't have the technical setup because obviously on a phone it knows where the cameras are, it knows where the audio inputs are, so you don't have that extra setup of making sure you've got all of them right. Down at the bottom here, you can add in your description. So like I said before, it would probably be Sunday service at your church and what day it is. And apart from that, it's a fairly simple affair. You don't need to do a lot to it. You can add in, you can tag your church with a location button beside the description there. And that's about all you need to really worry about on the phone. Once you start the live video, it'll load up, it'll check the internet connection and go live. Like I said before, I would say do it 5 to 10 minutes before. It gives a chance for people with the notifications to come through, them get logged in, get onto it and start watching. I wouldn't do it straight as the service starts. I would give yourself a bit of leeway in that one. Only thing that you need to notice when you're doing it from phone is make sure you check where your data connection is. Are you doing it through your network provider or are you on the Wi-Fi? I would suggest heavily make sure you're on the Wi-Fi before you even start loading up Facebook, all that kind of stuff. Live streaming is very data heavy, so unless you've got an unlimited plan on your mobile contract and you know that you won't get charged extra, make sure you're using the Wi-Fi for it. It saves you getting charged for it basically, and it'll also guarantee, the Wi-Fi tends to guarantee that you'll get stable connection and there won't be any interruptions in the video as well. So I think that's pretty much all we need to cover right now. Any questions, any comments? I'd love to hear from them down in the comments section wherever this video ends up. And obviously if you're out there and you're a church that's already doing this, please join in the conversation as well. There's many voices sort of helping out, showing options for doing this. This is obviously a very quick, dirty video of how to just get started and get going. There's not a lot of technical insight into this, so please join the conversation below. If you've got questions about, all that kind of stuff, be happy to help, and I'm sure there's others that will be more than happy to help. I know there's churches that live stream regularly to many platforms. This is just covering your quick, get it out, get it done, get it in the midst of all the things that are going on just now.